Good morning, everyone. I want to share a dream that I had a couple nights ago, and I hope y'all do not get tired of watching my little videos. I'm sorry, I'm not really one that likes to do this. I actually feel kind of awkward doing it, but it's just easier for me to do this without writing stuff down. I used to do a lot of just long posts and stuff, but I've realized that it's actually easier to just get in front of a camera and just say what I want to say or just share what I feel like God is saying anyway to me. And anyway, so this is the second dream that I've had about seeing a breach in a wall. So that's why I really want to share it. I feel like that of course, anyone that looks at the border can say, oh, well, that's easy. Anybody would see that. But honestly, I don't think that the breach in the wall is representing the border, even though, yes, that there's a breach at the border. But anyway, I felt like that since this was the second time I dreamed this, that I really wanted to share it with people and for us to really be praying for our country. Anyway, because I felt like it represented America. And anyway, let me just get into this dream. So in this dream, I am at this, it seemed like I'm at this huge resort, but so is thousands of other people. It's like there's thousands and thousands of other people and we're all at this resort. And anyway, in this dream, it's like the last day of whatever we were doing at this resort. And I remembered that there was a place at this resort where they kept all the babies and all the animals on lockdown. And I know that sounds very strange, but when I woke up, I wasn't sure what it meant. I just prayed about it and the Lord has shown me what it means. And anyway, so in this dream, people are just wandering around all week, just doing their thing or whatever. And I kept noticing that they had this special area and there was, all the animals and all the children were locked down so they couldn't get out. And because, the babies were vulnerable. And I mean, these were babies, like crawling babies, like newborn babies all the way to crawling babies. And maybe even some just a little bit older. Some of them might could have walked, but they were all babies. Anyway, so then in my dream, it's like I said, it's like the last day and I'm walking around and I go to the area where the animals and the babies are. And when I looked, I saw that, and this is something, they kept them all locked down all the time. They kept them locked down so they couldn't hurt themselves and get out. And because this resort was so big, it was actually, when I'm thinking about the dream, it was actually America. And so, I mean, this place was just huge, but it was just like a beautiful retreat, And so, anyway, so I saw that there was a breach in the wall. It was almost like the gate was open or there was a breach at the gate where the gate had got broke. And so all of a sudden I saw that, that the gate was like messed up. And so it was open and there was this man that was with me. And I said, oh my goodness, we've got to go get that gate closed so the babies don't get out, so the animals don't get out because, because I knew that once they escaped, this place that we were at was so huge, you would never get them all back. Like some of them would be hurt, some of them, and the animals wouldn't be taken care of. So anyway, this man and I together, we are doing everything we can to, try to stop it. But the thing is, it was like all at the same time that we saw the breach, the animals and the babies saw it, and all of a sudden they just started running, crawling, out of this area, out of this gate, and escaping. They were escaping, and I was like, oh my goodness, like it was too late. Like we could not keep them. We could not get the gate closed because it was like a stampede, of getting out of that area where they had been refined and confined. And anyway, so then I told this guy, I was like, we've got to let the people know what's going on. They've got to get this fixed, And so anyway, we came across somebody and the man told them what was going on and they were going to notify the owners. But anyway, in my dream, I woke up and and I knew this, and I knew that even when the owners came, I knew that there was no going back. I knew that the breach that had happened, there was no repair, that there would be many babies and animals that would be hurt, that would be lost, that would be, that we would never get back because of whatever had happened. The breach in the wall had caused, that the damage had already been done. Anyway, so I don't remember if I shared the other dream, and I'm going to share that real quick, and then I'm going to give the meaning of this one. I had a dream. This other dream was probably close to a month ago. And anyway, in this other dream, it's my husband and I, and we are at this big castle, and we are stewards of this place. It was like a castle, but it was, I guess, more like a chateau. I mean, like a chateau that's like more modern. It was like a modern castle. It didn't look like the kind you see at Disneyland anyway. But it was just a very beautiful home that we were stewards over. And in my dream, my husband and I were just going around this house, and we were supposed to steward over it and just make it better than it was. But it was just perfect. Everything about this place was perfect. And so I would look around, and I was like, what can we add to this? It's just, it's beautiful. So anyway, I walked into this room, and then when I walked into this room, there was this huge gap in the wall, and I knew that we were in trouble. And in my dream that I had, it was like this, where this breach in the wall was, it was like the sheetrock was kind of just moving, like something had just blasted out the wall. There was a breach in the wall, and I knew, and I woke straight up, and I was like, I knew it was a warning, and so the Lord had showed me then, that there was a breach in the wall, that we need to pray for our country. I knew it represented our country. So back to the dream that I shared with y'all just now, the first one, I felt like, of course, the babies, I feel like that what this breach means is that our leadership in this country, and I'm talking about all our leadership, the Republicans, the Democrats, that they are not doing what they're supposed to do, and they're because of the way they have been leading our country, there is a huge breach in the wall, and the ones that are suffering the most are the most vulnerable, the children. And God has showed me that our children are simply not being protected. Children are being taught things in school they should not be taught. Our children are being taught so many things right now that are so against how God has made them to be, who He's made them to be. The enemy is using even our government to take away their identity. They're not being protected. They're being targeted. They're being targeted by a sinister group of people in our leadership in all of our states, many of our states, I guess not all of our states. But anyway, so there is a huge breach in the wall, and the most vulnerable are being hurt. And now the animals, I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Then God reminded me as I was praying about this, that in the Bible, Jesus even referred to, some of the Pharisees, Sadducees as snakes. One of the ministers, I think it was Paul, mentioned, I don't remember which one it was actually, sometimes that the religious people were referred to as dogs. One time in the Bible, another time, I think it was Paul spoke about people or as ministers that would take advantage of people as brute beasts, as animals again. And so I was thinking about this, and I was like, oh my goodness, the animals represent people that are vulnerable. So maybe single women, widows, or friends, the veterans, our public servants. So I really feel like that God was showing me this breach in the wall, that in our country where our leadership is not doing the right things for the most vulnerable of people that deserve to be protected. Let's just say the poor, that that the government should be helping them, and not all the people that are coming through the border illegally. It doesn't mean that Americans do not love, people coming the right way to our country, doing it the right way, doing it according to the law. There is a legal way, and anybody that's come the legal way, we embrace them, we love them. So yes, that is a part of it. But what the government has done, they have protected the illegal, people that are coming in even more than the vulnerable in our own country, the poor, the homeless, the veterans, our public servants that don't even hardly make anything. So anyway, I wanted to share this dream because I feel like it's like a wake-up call. If the Lord gives you one dream, that's one thing, but if He gives you two dreams, oh my goodness, this is a wake-up call to America, that we have got to pray that God will you know, do something in our country to get the attention of our leaders, that they will protect the most vulnerable and do the right thing for our nation. Anyway, thank y'all for, you know, watching my video. Forgive me for my, you know, inadequacies and trying to share, and just, you know, I do the best I can. Anyway, I love you guys. God bless you.